if you don't stop calling her a bitch, I'm gonna make sure you don't have to worry about anything else ever again.
Is that a threat?
No, it's an incentive.
You know, that's the problem with you humans, all of you. You're arrogant, and most of all, you're pathetic.
You're kidding me, right? Really? We're the pathetic ones. You're a parasite.
I was gonna change things around and not kill the human for once. But now that you've really pissed me off, I'm gonna make sure you die nice and slow.
You know, it's funny. You with your arrogance, you're slowly killing yourselves and you don't even know it. You know, I hate almost everything about you. But I have to admit, there's one thing I really like.
And what's that?
I like the way you die. Have I mentioned that I hate Felicity? Because I really hate Felicity. She's like a cartoon character, but like a really shitty one. Her voice is annoying, her model looks like shit, she never stops fucking talking, and I wish the farmer that shot her leg off would have aimed for the fucking head. Because that would have been some fucking good glue. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh shit, right, sorry, got distracted. So Lucy becomes jealous and makes Felicity sad, which makes Shuck mad, and then Mad Shuck yells at Lucy in a scene that I genuinely love.
What the fuck is your game then?
Don't waste your time with that rabble. You can do better.
Do better with who? I'm trapped in this fucking house all day, been talking to the same faces for years, nobody to confide in.
You've got me.
But who the fuck are you, Lucy?
He calls her out on her bullshit, and it's really fucking satisfying to watch. We then cut to the introduction of a porno.
Do you taste that?
I certainly smell it.
Putrefaction.
So Fontaine and Wexel discover the body of Holly, who was literally only introduced in order to be killed later on. And the scene becomes infinitely more hilarious when you realize that all of the villains in the show are off-screen watching our heroes a couple yards away, just standing there.
She's rotting. She's dead.
Giveawakians don't rot.
Unless they've sustained significant genetic damage. Only this is on a scale the likes of which I've never seen. She's been completely drained.
Hey, idiots! Why not just attack now? You have every advantage. They're outnumbered, and somehow they don't see you, so they're probably blind, and they're probably stupid. But instead of taking the obvious advantage that they currently have, they instead decide to make their appearance known, which is a totally great idea.
I have so much to give, but first I must take.
Then a lizard man holding a camera suddenly appears, and are we sure this isn't a comedy?
Fall back to the balcony. We'll deal with this bitch.
This feels like a comedy. I'm laughing way too much at this for this not to be a comedy. So after effortlessly defeating the villains without getting as much as a scratch on them, they go back home. You know, instead of pursuing literally the most evil thing in the universe at the moment, but it's okay. I'm sure they're tired. I'd be tired.
Oof.
So Sam calls Fleischer, who is a dragon. But how does a dragon use a phone? How does a dragon get a phone? We cut to a scene with Shuck and Felicity, where Felicity is on the verge of tears because of Lucy. Oh no, don't show Felicity this video, she'll fucking kill herself. So anyway, Felicity goes to Vegas to talk with Christian Slater, and Shuck decides to tag along, because we need something for our characters to do, other than sitting in a house.
Oof.
And that's the show so far. Holy shit. After watching the show again, I've noticed a few issues. One very prominent issue I've seen from Sam's writing is that he has a serious problem of telling instead of showing. You see, in films, there's a term a lot of people like to throw around, and it's called show don't tell, which basically means when making a movie or any form of visual media, it's better to show things to the audience instead of telling them. Sam does a lot of telling, but not a lot of showing, and all the characters suffer from this. But the character who shows the most lack of understanding of the show don't tell rule, without a doubt, is Ludwig. We are told repeatedly in the show that we should be scared of him, and you don't want to get him mad, because you wouldn't like him when he's mad. But here's my problem though. The most we've ever seen him do is walk around. Visually, it's not very intimidating. Like, at least Wexel has sword arms? I can understand why not to mess with this bitch. But what's Ludwig gonna do, talk you to death? And you can't talk someone to death. I know because I've tried. Then there's Sullivan. Who is he? Why is he there? Why do the other characters trust him? Is Sullivan a furry? Is Sam a furry? Do you think Sam masturbates to his characters? I don't know the answer to any of these questions, thankfully, but I'm sure they're all a part of an interesting story that we'll never see. Speaking of Sam, did you know that he based Winifred off of an old girlfriend? That's right. He got the idea when she said she couldn't see him anymore. Ah man, poor Sam. Just like Winifred, I bet he didn't see that coming. Lucy was based on the Cheshire Cat, so I guess you could call her a pussy? But she's a pussy who Heisenflay looks up to, for some reason, even though she's a manipulative, physically abusive cunt. Lucy, as a written character, is fine, she's nothing too special, but the execution of her character is so bad. My favorite parts with her involve her getting called out on her bullshit, or her just getting physically injured. Also, Sam. Maybe give your characters a few flaws? Maybe some obstacles to overcome. You know, just shit to do? Like, outside of a cool but overrated character design, what does she have going for her? Also, every time she laughs, it makes me want to throw a large brick off of an overpass into the windshield of a single mother's minivan. She has her moments, but all in all, she's just so annoying. But on the bright side, Sam seems to be fleshing out her character more and more in season 2, so hopefully she'll get a little bit better. Or she'll die. Either way, fuck that bitch. Okay, so who is Mandus? Was he a dictator? What did he do? Why should we be afraid of him? Is his full name Dr. Mandus Toboggan?
Actually, it's Mantis. Mantis Toboggan, MD.
Does he have any Magnum condoms for his monster dong?
Oh, whoops! Oh, I dropped my monster condom that I used for my Magnum dong.
All of these questions need answers. Was it supposed to be a twist that the mannequin was Locket? Because after the episode The Mannequin, Lucy says this to Winifred.
You think your old friend, Grand Voice Locket, will come to your rescue? You think she'll have you as a Grand Whisperer again? Well, Locket's not coming back.
So does she not know? Does she have brain problems? Now how do we fix these problems with the characters and story? Well, hear me out. We add a new character. Not a Kilowhack, mind you, but a human. And I know that in this show, full of giant pink ladies, dragons, and crazy cat women, that sounds pretty ridiculous. But bear with me, because this could be something big. We've seen in a previous episode that the mob exists in the world, and it's implied that there will be more from them in the future, so the setup is already there. The episode opens on an establishing shot of Sam's house at night. Everyone is asleep, except for maybe the squirrel, because squirrels are sneaky bitches. Wait, hold on, I'm being told by the latest episode that they don't sleep?
Active, dormant, and dead.
No, they just become dormant. Wait, what is another word for dormant again? Oh, asleep. Interesting. Then boom, we see someone break into Sam's house. Now what happens from here doesn't matter, because the possibilities are endless. Maybe the scene is played up for laughs. Maybe we start to see things from the robber's perspective, and the episode turns into a horror movie. All that really matters is that everyone figures out that a robber is in the house and they corner him into a room. Maybe a character says something along the lines of, they're gonna kill him, when the robber reveals that he is part of the mob, and they know exactly where he is, because he told them, and if he doesn't show up to meet with the mob the next morning, they're gonna come for him and find out about everything. So there we go, a new character who won't feel forced into the show, and who we as an audience can relate to. The characters can't let him go, or they risk him telling the mob, and they can't kill him because then the mob will show up at their door, no doubt sending a lot of unwanted attention their way. They're stuck! This character could then be used to explore the characters in a way we couldn't have before. Like maybe he plays chess with Shuck, or drinks with Lucy. We could make the character even more complex by making him religious, which is completely at odds with the rest of the characters, which would lead to character conflict. Then there could be awesome lines like, and then it could cut to the robber, and he could say, well, yesterday I thought dragons were complete fiction, yet here we are. Who knows what else could be real? We could even take this to the next level. Maybe he has a daughter who's blind. That gives him an instant connection with Winifred. That could then lead to a really great scene like this. I heard you don't talk much. That's okay. I won't be long. I just wanted you to know. I've got a daughter. She's been blind since birth. When her mother, my wife, passed away, I thought I would have to comfort her. But she was so strong. In my darkest hour, I held her in my arms, and she told me something I'll never forget. She said, the best part about being blind is that you never have to look back at the past. Tell me that wouldn't be an interesting dynamic. I dare you. In the end, he calls the mob and tells them that he's leaving town, and they can kiss his ass, because his character has found a new metaphorical family. He could even be a useful character because of his knowledge of the mob and his people he knows on the inside. Your animation is fluid. The character designs, for the most part, look amazing. And anytime the characters interact with the real world, it looks great. Although with that said, I have a few observations that I feel if changed would greatly benefit you and the show. Now, I'm no animator. I prefer to do things with my hands, like strangle hookers. But here's my opinion. You see, the character is moving away, which is very unnatural. This has been pointed out by a few people, and almost every time it seems you've gotten a little bit irritated. I'm going to try to be as nice and respectful as possible with the following tangent. Some scenes, the character's hair looks like it should be underwater, and they're constantly moving, which makes the whole scene feel unprofessional and not well thought out. Kinda like my first murder. I was 5. The babysitter wouldn't change the channel. There was blood everywhere.
It was delicious.
Also, I need to go out of my way to say this, but your fight scenes are absolutely incredible. They are not good, mind you, at all, but they are very entertaining. Like, how on earth can I take this shit seriously? A lizard man holding a camera just ran into the middle of the room. That is some goofy shit.
We find this to be highly unlikely.
I don't understand how your fight scenes are like this bad though. Like, look at this video from 2 years ago, also made with Blender. Sam Finna, you have no excuse. However, in my humble internet opinion, the worst part of the animation is the background. You see, for some reason, in certain shots he blurs the background instead of using a perspective warp, which makes the image look really flat. Along with that, they always appear very fake, and they take me out of the scene.
You fucking cunt.
Because I know you can do better, damn it. Record the scene with markers and trackers, place the characters in a real environment, It may take longer, but damn it, it'll look so much better. And that's really all the complaints that I have about the animation. The rest is just really nitpicky. A few shots don't have the correct lighting, sometimes the lip syncing isn't the greatest, and the characters can be seen glitching from time to time. But those things are really things you need to look for. So in conclusion, your animation is great. Just fix the noise, fix the character movement, and remember to use your CG backgrounds only if your life depends on it. You're a creative guy. Get creative. Filmmaking is very hard. It's also where Satellite City seems to struggle the most at, because visually, it's very boring. Almost every single episode seems to rely on 4 main types of shots, which are wide shots, normally followed by a medium shot, then an over-the-shoulder shot, and then to emphasize a point, there is a close-up. Although with that said, there are a variety of different shots used in the show. Shots like zooms, hands, establishing shots, side shots, low-angle shots, high-angle shots, Dutch-angle shots, swoosh cuts, point-of-view shots, jump cuts, and handheld shots. I appreciate the use of these shots, however, they stand out to me because you don't use them very often.
Fucking cunt.
The single best moment in the entire show, by far, is the second half of the mannequin episode. It's well shot, well directed, it shows a basic understanding of filmmaking, and it's something new that we haven't seen or been back to since. I love the reveal of the mannequin. And I love it more than I love running over speed bumps on the highway, especially the ones that scream. And I love the swoosh cut that follows it. I love the voice on the phone, which seems to be heavily inspired by the film Black Christmas.
That'd be great.
Rip out your chronicles. Stick your tongue in it, that'll give you a charge.
I'll stick my tongue up your pretty pussy.
You fucking creep!
I'm going to kill you.
And even if it's not animated the best, I love the idea of the mannequin slowly crawling towards the victim, because all that stuff is great. I love the ending to episode 19. It looks like a real film, especially with the camera dolly in the mobster's hand, which is an awesome character introduction. And I also really love the smoke effect, because it adds so much style and it's great. The problem? Well, there's just not enough of that kind of stuff. Instead of focusing on those genuinely great moments, your newer episodes seem to have a greater focus on handheld shaky cam and unnecessary digital zooms that simply don't look good. Not to mention the fake CG backgrounds that look horrible. Just shoot your footage outside, it looks so much better. You know, looking at your show, it makes me wonder if you actually understand what visual storytelling is. Like, do you understand the general rules of filmmaking? Do you understand how and why people use certain shots or how people use those shots to tell a story? Because I don't think that you do. It's a bit strange to see how inconsistent the show's quality is, because it varies between really good and just embarrassingly bad. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, the most consistent thing about Satellite City is just how sloppy the writing is. Although with that said, I have noticed a lot of references to movies in your show, and I kinda dig it. References like The Thing,
Clear.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, Gremlins, Black Christmas, The Mist, Poltergeist, and Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Hellraiser, Room 1408, Escape from New York, The Time Machine, and then pretty much every single thing made by Tim Burton. Oh, also Nightbreed. Nightbreed. You know, the movie written and directed by Clive Barker, who also wrote and directed Hellraiser and Candyman, which are 2 of my favorite horror films ever. Nightbreed is a very original movie from 1990 where monsters from myths and legends are real, but they try to hide themselves from humanity by living in a designated settlement hidden from the rest of the world. These monsters are very civilized and have their own culture. It's also implied that they've been here for a very long time. You know, nothing like Satellite City. Now, I'm not crying out plagiarism, I'm just saying it's very possible Sam saw this movie and was heavily inspired by it, because there's just a lot of similarities. So with that said, Nightbreed is awesome, and if you like Satellite City, you'll love the fucking movie. When I started writing this part of the video, I had the utmost respect for Sam. However, upon doing some research, I'm left a little disappointed. You see, Sam has problems. But that's not too bad. We all have problems. I have problems.
With controlling my rage.
But Sam has a lot of problems. Problems that he obviously doesn't like to talk about. Problems with anger, criticism, and insecurity. He's also a bit of a hypocrite, but we'll get to that. An example of this can be seen in a post written by Sam, where he complains about his college experience. In this message, Sam opens his post with one of the most funnily arrogant things I've ever seen unironically. I'm speaking as the sole animator of Bionicle Revolution. Right, the creator of Bionicle Revolution, a film so successful it was cancelled before it was released. He talks about how he was bullied at the university, and I have to admit, that probably really sucked. I'm sorry about that. It's never fun when someone makes fun of your hard work, but that doesn't mean you get the right to release the university's private information in an attempt to, and this is a direct quote from Sam, shut that forsaken place down. Which kind of sounds like a threat, but maybe I'm just stupid. Like, dude, calm down. Also, did you fail out of college, or did you leave? Because there's a big difference between those two. He then tells his audience to not go to college, which is not good advice. Go to college. Although, to be fair, he only tells aspiring animators not to go to college. Which, you know, that makes everything so much better. Anyone who's ever tried to be an animator has made it. So you don't need to go to college for a backup plan, because that's just stupid. Fucking, what the fuck? Along with that, he also has an entire segment on his Q&A dedicated to making fun of his college classmates' animations.
I went to university for 6 months. It was shit. Do you actually want to see some of their work, some of the work that the students produced there? Take a look.
I don't want to die. You got the wrong guy. I was double-crossed by a dirty rat. Actually, this rat was a dog, but his car ran me down. I just flew out of jail. I just got back to town. Hey, this is hard to explain. May I speak to your superior? Because I don't want to die.
So yeah, that's the university. That's where I went to learn how to animate.
Which just, it seems really mean. And it also makes me wonder why he was bullied in college. Because much like how a murderer doesn't murder someone for no reason, a bully doesn't bully someone for no reason. Oof. Jeez, you're making me sick. Please don't think of me as a bully or someone who doesn't like Sam. Because I do. Sam, you have talent, and I know you can do something great. You've made mistakes, but hopefully you've grown. Maybe you can take these mistakes and grow and be a better person. After all, my goal for this video is to help you, and I'm going to help you by being honest. Your writing is sloppy, there's no character arcs, nobody changes or grows in a natural way, and the dialogue is just really bland. The music you choose is distracting and cheesy at the best, and the show lacks any self-awareness, which is something it desperately needs. The cinematography is very flat and boring. A lot of the dialogue is very pretentious and full of artsy-fartsy bullshit that doesn't mean anything. With that said, there are a lot of exceptions to the complaints that I've just described, but the point is, there is a lot of problems with your show that you should probably work on. You know, Lucy liked Shakespeare so much, so here's a quote especially for you and Sam, bitch. It's brevity of the soul of wit, which basically means don't waste my time. Get to the point and stop including stupid scenes of characters talking about random shit while doing a boring, mundane task. Also, movies and shows aren't a one-man project. They're a team effort, which requires other people to be creative, to put in their own creative touch in order to elevate a film from good to great. Let's look at Star Wars. Why is it that Star Wars Episode 4, written and directed by George Lucas, is so good, while Episodes 1 through 3, also written and directed by George Lucas, are so bad? It's because on Episode 4, George was constantly getting feedback from other people, and his ideas were constantly being challenged. Episode 4 works because people were able to tell Lucas, hey, let's not make Han Solo a lizard man. Or, hey, let's not make C-3PO a sleazy car salesman, because that might be kinda shitty. Don't make the movie! There's absolutely no reason for you to make a feature-length film of Satellite City, and I have reason to believe that if you try, you will fail horribly. Just calm down, focus on the show, Fix the writing problems, fix the characters, fix everything I've previously mentioned on the show. Because if you don't work on fixing these problems now, and you choose to continue the film, the problems won't fix themselves, they'll only get worse. Also, why on earth would you try to make another movie after Bionicle Revolution? Because that went over so well. You got a good thing going, man. Just stay the course and keep on making Satellite City episodes. You're good at them. Like, that is the dumbest thing you could currently do. It's almost as dumb as collaborating with another YouTube channel who has nothing to do with your content just for the exposure. Oh, wait. Have you learned anything from your past? Do you even want to grow and get better or change? If you do want to grow, then how are you going to do that by making the same shitty mistakes? How are you even going to afford to make a movie? Oh fuck, I forgot.
We put the picture's name on everything. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Hopefully you've learned something. Don't be full of yourself or prideful. Take a step back and look at yourself. Be self-aware. You're a YouTube content creator with a sketchy past. You make a show about computer-generated monsters who live in a fucking house. You use free CG software and you do amazing things with it. I don't think you're good at writing a story or writing compelling characters, and I definitely don't think that you're good at using a camera. But the good news, you're one hell of an animator, and you've got a lot of great ideas. And you can always learn how to write a good story with interesting characters. You can get help from someone who may know more about writing stories or characters. There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, it shows that you have enough balls to say, hey, I need help, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make my show the best it can be. Remember, movies aren't made alone. Hell, send me a script for an episode. I won't even edit it, I'll just give you little notes about what I would change or do differently. Maybe even help you storyboard. Ah, shit. I didn't even get into storyboarding. Storyboard your shit, man. It helps you in ways you never even think about. If not me, then at least one of your 100,000 fans I'm sure would be happy to help with writing or any of that shit. Well, I've said my piece. Now if you excuse me, I've got a werewolf movie to finish. My email's in the description if you want to send me a script or want a second opinion. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Hopefully you can do something with this.